I can guarantee you that 99% of Christians believe in the lie that Judas betrayed Jesus. But just like any story in the New Testament, you can compare them or just look at how the authors frame the details and you'll come to see that it's an embellishment or a plot device. Because Christian authors love to create plagiaristic events from the Old Testament and then present those plagiarisms as if they're prophecy. And this is where the Christians come with that nonsense about foreshadowing. Because they'll use the fact that Judas betrayed Joseph. It all plays into this predestined plan. It's all just nonsense. But let's get to the meat of the video. In Mark 14, when Jesus is telling his disciples that one will betray him, Jesus never reveals who it was. It wasn't until Jesus came back from praying 3 times in the Garden of Gethsemane did Judas come with those soldiers. In Luke's Gospel, in chapter 22, Jesus tells them that the one who eats with him will betray him. The disciples don't argue about this. They argue about who is the greatest disciple. And Jesus tells Peter he'll deny him 3 times before the rooster crows. In this Gospel, Jesus doesn't go to the Garden of Gethsemane. He goes to the Mount of Olives. When he returns to the disciples asleep, Judas then appears. In Matthew's account, in chapter 20, Jesus tells the disciples that the one who shares bread with him again will betray him. But this time, Judas directly asks, "Do you mean me, Rabbi?" Jesus replies, "You have said so." Then he shares bread with all of the disciples. Again, he goes to the Garden of Gethsemane. When he returns the 3rd time, Judas comes with the mother. Now, John's Gospel is where it gets interesting. Jesus, distraught, tells his disciples that one will betray him. They all ask him, "Who?" He says, "The one who I give this bread will betray me." He breaks the bread and gives it to Judas. Immediately, the devil enters Judas and he leaves. In this gospel, the author says the other disciples didn't understand because they thought he was going to prepare for the Passover. All the while, in the other 3 gospels, they were already at the Passover. But John is trying to do 2 things. One is to clean up where the other gospels had no explanation of how Judas wound up with the mother. The first 3 gospels just left everyone to assume that he left when the other disciples were asleep. But that's not the case. The second is change that Passover season to some feast that happened the day before, where they all sitting around washing each other's feet. Because in order for Jesus to die as the Passover lamb, he has to be killed before dusk on the day before Passover, just like the Passover lamb was killed. But as I tell you all, Christians don't read their gospels to witness of how nonsensical they are. But I'm the bad guy, the Antichrist, simply because I can forget. Tell them.